Good evening, wonderful people. This is Chris for the Informed Stoner. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of February, 2023, and this is our evening news report. Tonight's report is brought to us by CNN.com. The EPA says it can fine Norfolk Southern $70,000 a day if it falls short of cleaning up and paying for the Ohio toxic train wreck. The very least, which, in my opinion, that they can do, bare minimum. The head of the Environmental Protection Agency threatened expensive consequences if Norfolk Southern fails to fully clean up the toxic train wreck and pay for the fallout in East Palestine, Ohio. The EPA's new legally binding order, set to take effect Thursday, will ensure that Norfolk Southern pays for the mess they have created, EPA Minister Michael Regan told CNN on Wednesday. For weeks, residents have reported a variety of health problems since the Norfolk Southern train carrying toxic chemicals derailed, spewing black clouds of smoke over the community of about 5,000 people. To help prevent a deadly explosion of vinyl chloride, crews released the toxic chemical into a trench and burned it off. I don't know if that was the best idea or not. I'm not a chemist, but it seems to have caused a lot of issues. Maybe there would have been more, I don't know. While the EPA says testing shows the air and municipal water in East Palestine are safe, Reagan said that those with symptoms they believe might be linked to the wreck should seek medical attention. Those residents should ensure that state and local health agencies understand those experiences, because as we forced Norfolk Southern, they have to use the word force. I mean, kind of bad that, I don't know, they shouldn't have to use the word force or be forcing them to take full accountability for what they've done. Norfolk Southern will be paying for everything, Reagan said. Well, as they should. The EPA cited an authority under the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act. On Wednesday, Reagan summarized that the EPA's demand on Norfolk Southern. Number one, they will clean up every single piece of debris, all of the contaminants, to the EPA specifications and satisfaction. Number two, they will pay for it, fully pay for it. At any moment, if we have to step in because they refuse to do anything, we will do the cleaning up ourselves, and we can fine them up to $70,000 a day. And when we recoup our total costs, we can charge them 3 times of the amount of the cost of the federal government, and that's what the law provides. While a potential $70,000 a day fine might sound steep, Norfolk Southern reported a record $4.8 billion operating profit last year. Wow, $4.8 billion. Yeah, $70,000 a day to that's nothing for them. It should be $70 million a day. The company said it's already been working with the EPA and local crews on the ground since the derailment on February 3rd. From day one, I've made the comment that Norfolk Southern is going to remediate the site. Norfolk Southern President and CEO Alan Shaw told CNN on Tuesday. We're going to do it through the continuous long-term air and water monitoring. We're going to help the residents of this community recover. And we're going to invest in the long-term health of this community. And we're going to make Norfolk Southern a safer railroad. Well, hopefully that's true. Hopefully they help this community out. Hopefully they hold Norfolk to the iron for this. The coals burn their asses. Make them freaking take care of this stuff. It's ridiculous. Norfolk Southern has committed millions of dollars worth of financial assistance to East Palestine, including $3.4 million in direct financial assistance to families and $1 million community assistance fund, the company said. The ongoing cleanup efforts include removing contaminated soil and water from under the railroad tracks at the derailment site. The tracks will be lifted to remove the soil, Ohio officials said. Governor Mike DeWine said 4.588 cubic yards of soil, 4,588 cubic yards of soil, and 1.1 million gallons of contaminated water had been removed so far from East Palestine. The contaminated soil became a point of contention last week after the public document sent to the EPA on February 10th did not list soil removal among the completed cleanup activities. It is not yet known what significance or impact the soil that was not removed before the railroad reopened on February 8th will have had on the surrounding areas. There's been a concern by citizens, very understandably, that the railroad got the tracks back on, and started running, and the soil under the tracks had not been dealt with, DeWine said. So under the administrator's order, the soil will be removed, so the tracks will have to be taken up, and that soil will have to be removed. The derailment in East Palestine near the Ohio border with Pennsylvania led to evacuations in both states. Now Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro claims Norfolk Southern gave officials inaccurate information in the days after the toxic wreck. In sum, Norfolk Southern injected unnecessary risk into this crisis, Shapiro said Tuesday. He said Pennsylvania environmental officials had made a criminal referral against Norfolk Southern. After the accusations, Norfolk Southern issued a statement to CNN. We recognize that we have a responsibility and we have committed to doing what's right for the residents of East Palestine, the company said on Tuesday. Well, I hope they do just more than East Palestine, because I'm pretty sure this is going to have much more farther reaching effect around the area. We've been paying for the cleanup activities to date and continue to do so. We are committed to thoroughly and safely cleaning the site, and we are reimbursing residents for the disruption this caused in their life. We are investing in helping East Palestine thrive for the long term, and we will continue to be in the community for as long as it takes. We are going to learn from this terrible accident and work with the regulators and elected officials to improve railroad safety. On the Ohio side of the border, the state attorney general is reviewing all actions the law allows him to take, Governor DeWine said. Apologies. Something stuck in my throat there. While the officials' cost for the wreck has not been released, the National Transportation Safety Board said it will issue a preliminary report on the derailment Thursday. The toxic derailment has prompted calls for better rail safety and fueled questions about current laws and the movement of toxic substances. Well, yeah, we should reevaluate a lot of this stuff, I'm sure. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, I know that dude's name, jeez, will visit East Palestine on Thursday, days after he announced new rail safety efforts. Ohio governor said it's absurd there's no legal requirement that Norfolk Southern to notify officials that a train with hazardous material will travel through the state. That is absurd. They should have all kinds of notifications. Everyone should know what's going on. There's something fundamentally wrong when a train like this comes into a state and the current laws do not require. Despite what they were hauling, does not require them to notify the state or local officials. Apologies. The fact that this train did not qualify under current laws requiring the railroad company to make notification is just absurd. President Joe Biden called for the Congress to help implement rail safety measures and accused the Trump administration of limiting the government's ability to strengthen rail safety measures. He vented his frustration in an Instagram post. This is more than a train derailment or a toxic waste spill. It's years of opposition to safety measures coming home to roost, Biden wrote. Well, I don't know how much of that is just, political nonsense. Both parties do all kinds of stuff. But yeah, if Trump and the Republicans are guilty of it, then, that's bad. That's real bad. And we need to fix it all. It all needs to be gone through, bipartisan, no bias, no political bias, and be done for safety and for people and the environment and to keep everything good and moving. Anyhow, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Go ahead and leave comments down below if you like. Maybe we can have a conversation about it. Well, this was your Wednesday evening news segment. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Join us Monday through Friday for news, culture, and entertainment for the Informed Stoner.